Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Just when I thought that gender ideology and the cult that it actually is couldn't get any worse, I saw this video that is currently doing the rounds over on X. And be warned, you're going to get angry. You're going to get very upset. How can someone that is disabled, nonverbal, consent to having her healthy breasts cut off by the gender mad cult? The answer is she can't willingly or knowingly give her consent, but the people behind this gave consent for her, thinking that was the best thing for this disabled individual. And to be honest with you all, this did make me mad, and I'm going to do my best to hold it together during this video, but I am actually fuming on the inside because I used to work with people like this. I used to. And for whatever it's worth, they are beautiful people. You should look after them. Now, they are most of the time able to let you know certain things. But when you're dealing with the gender ideological cult that is itself a lie, how can you, knowing full well she's nonverbal, she can't actually give her consent, how can you full well know that she wants her healthy breasts cut off? The butchery and the madness needs to stop. It needs to end, for goodness sake. Have a watch of this. How is this acceptable? In short, it's not acceptable for those of us that live in reality. Riley Gaines goes, how can someone who is nonverbal and clearly physically, mentally impaired fully consent to cutting off healthy body parts? You can't. But the doctors should have known this ahead of time. But no, they didn't do anything that was reasonable or actually the doctors should have protected this individual. But instead, they were too focused on lining their pockets and committing themselves to this ideological madness, knowing full well this person is nonverbal. How can this person know what she's doing to herself? The doctors definitely need to be imprisoned, or better yet, investigated and then imprisoned so this doesn't happen ever again. Gays Against Groomers goes, this is beyond comprehension, and I agree. How can anyone allow a disabled woman who cannot voice her consent to undergo a double mastectomy? If we assume this wasn't about treating cancer, then this was adults deciding her behavior indicated gender dysphoria. You can clearly see that this person actually goes by, I believe it is the Micah Leroy, disabled trans boy. That's how she goes over on Instagram. There's another video, which sadly I won't show you because it is, again, horrific. It's like this person is being abused by the carers, by the family. And you're thinking to yourself, how can someone that is nonverbal even communicate that they want this? Now, when I used to work with people like this, they would communicate certain small things like food. That was about it. Water. You had to do everything else for them. They could not communicate at all. Now, it did not mean that they weren't thinking, did not mean that they were completely brain dead, none of that sort of stuff. But it meant that they couldn't communicate, and you had to ask them questions and you had to try and figure it out, what they wanted. And most of the time, they didn't know. Most of the time, they didn't, unless it was food, water, shower, bathe, which we would do anyway. So how can you tell me that this individual wanted her healthy breast cut off? And the doctors, knowing full well, I've got to get actual consent. Now, maybe the parents or the legal guardian decided to make this happen, which goes to show you how evil and how twisted it really is. A disabled person Reverend Calvin Robinson goes, trans rights do not exist. The trans ideology is a mental illness. It is about power and control. They prey on the vulnerable, the weak. This is sick and evil. Graham Lynham goes, OMG. Shame on you all. And he tags quite a few people that are all for this. This is on you and every other celebrity idiot who supported the wrong body cult. Shame on every evil scumbag who pushed trans ideology. Even disabled children are fair game for you. Trump entering the White House can't happen soon enough. The redhead libertarian goes, this is the face of the trans refuge state on MN. This is the result of legalized child you-know-what changes. Adults deciding to butcher a child with cerebral palsy who cannot speak nor feed or clean herself is what's having zero ethical boundaries devolves into. Chloe Cole goes, nobody wanted to believe that video yesterday of what you guys just saw was real, but it is too real. Destroy the gender industry. They have no limits. And like I said, this person that had the double mastectomy goes by Micah Leroy. She is found on Instagram under the account username Disabled Trans Boy. This is one of many videos you can see. It's, again, horrific and tragic that people would allow this to even happen to somebody that can't even verbalize anything to do with trans ideology. How do you think that they believe that they are something they're actually not? That's how you know this is truly a cult, when someone is forcing it on somebody else, especially if they're nonverbal, especially if they can't communicate any of this madness. And disabled, no less. Nobody is safe from the gender cult. If the gender mad person wants you to be trans, they will go after the weak, the vulnerable, and the helpless. And that's exactly what they've done with this person. A sad, sad set of circumstances. And anyone that is involved with promoting this and saying that it is okay, they should be in prison. They should be investigated thoroughly, I might add, and then thrown in prison. Prison for the butchers, the liars, and the mad people that allow any of this stuff to go on. None of it is acceptable. Why does it continue? Not even trans. The whole idea of trans is just makes no sense. Not even disabled people are safe from this madness. So you guys have a right to be angry, as I am. Can't do anything about it except make this video and hopefully voice my concerns, as I'm sure many of you will in the comment section below. But hopefully we can do some good and save this person. But again, she's disabled. She's already got life hard enough as it is, but to cut off her healthy breast, I mean, far out. I can only imagine the doctor going, this is free money. I want to do this. But a sick, twisted, and perverted individual should not be a doctor. Anyone that is looking after this poor individual, shame on you. Shame on you. Anyway, you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.